Could we get a motion to go back into regular session?
Mr. Chair, I'll give a motion that we return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we back into regular session. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Opposed, do the same. We're now back into regular session. No actions were taken and no decisions were made into executive session. Is there anything that we need to discuss as a result of the executive session?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve one election and one resignation that was presented to us by Dr. McCord.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept one election and one resignation that was given us by the superintendent. Are you ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Opposers are the same. It has been accepted.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Manville?
I would like to move that we approve the lease agreement with the old final building that we have.
201 Jefferson Street.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the lease agreement with Clio, the town of Clio for 201 Jefferson Street. It's considered the old School of Discovery. Are you ready for questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hands. Opposes? We have accepted. Congratulations to the city of the town. I keep saying city. To the town of Clio. I want it to be a city, y'all. That means it needs to grow.
Can we get him to come up and we'll just
the mayor's here if you would come
take
forward,
a picture.
please.
I see Mayor Ben Padron in the audience, and we'll just and announce the position of Associate Superintendent for Instruction and our new employee. I see him in the audience, Dr. Jason Bryant. Jason, you want to come up? And as he comes up, I will share with you that he emerged from a list of about 30 candidates from all across South Carolina and North Carolina, as well as 2 other states. Dr. Bryant has experience both at the middle school and high school level. He's a lifelong educator. Currently, he serves as principal in Sherrall in Chesterfield County at Sherrall High School. And I believe he has his wife with him. And so I'll ask her to come up. You on board. We had the best half. Now we've got both. And so, Dr. Bryant, I'll give you a few moments to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Dr. McCord. It's a great pleasure to be here. Martin is rising. Dr. McCord, your leadership. Very pleased to be on board with this team. I already talked with some of the team out in the cafeteria, and I can see the excitement they have. I see the passion they have for the young people here, and I tell you, it's contagious. And again, I'm excited about being on board. I think everything we've talked about and y'all are about is about the students and the boys and girls here in Marlboro County, and that's what it should be. And so I'm excited about what we can do to serve them. And also, I know y'all got a big game coming up Thursday. Wish Coach Brace and the team good luck against Seneca and bring home that hardware, bring home that trophy, okay? But yeah, we're glad to be here, and thank y'all for welcoming me, my family, of course, here, and we are excited to be on board. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We look forward to all the things that you're going to be bringing to us and for us. And good luck to you. And we look forward to working with you.
If any of you have any questions for Dr. Bryant, this would be a great time.
I guess I do have one. Everyone knows that literacy is near and dear to my heart, so I just want to know, like, how would you address the literacy concerns we have here in the county right now?
Well, I think it goes, we gotta get books in kids' hands, that's one thing we gotta do. The other thing is we gotta make sure we have passionate teachers that help students continue to do that, to make sure they wanna read. But it's gonna be an exciting time, and I know one thing that's gonna be really good, with this is, we have, the leadership we have on board is gonna help us as we work together to do that. So I'm very, very excited about that.
And I would like to work, not with you, but just.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are working with us.
Definitely.
You're a big part of our team. Your leadership at school board is pivotal to the success of all our children.
We want to push that. And
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
I can go now.
All right.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant.
Thank y'all.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank y'all very much.
Approval of the minutes for January 30th, 2021, February 1st, 2021, February 8th, 2021.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the January 30th workshop, February 1st regular scheduled meeting, and the February 8th special call meeting minutes.
It is moved and second that we approve the January 30th, 2021 board workshop, the February 1st, 2021 regular scheduled meeting, and February 8th, 2021 special call meeting. Are you ready for questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor of approval of the minutes, let it be done by raising your right hand. Opposed are the same. The minutes have been approved. Points of celebration. Character Education Student of the Month. I'm getting excited back there, y'all.
We're gonna get the academic stuff out the way.
Yeah.
Good evening, Chairman of the Board, Dr. McCord, and school board members. It is my great pleasure to present to you Miss Kaden Peterson, a 5th grade student at Bennettsville Intermediate School, who is the Marlboro County School District Character Student for the month of February for kindness. At this time, I'm going to share with you some words from Kaden's teacher. Someone once said, "Kindness is spreading sunshine into other people's lives, regardless of the weather." Since the first day I met Kaden Peterson, she exhibited kindness to me and others. She is soft-spoken, so sometimes it is not a loud emotion, but something that is sweet and calm. It is the kind of kindness that is not boastful, but is seen through observation. She shows kindness regardless of what is taking place around her. Kaden shows kindness to her classmates. She is the first to compliment a friend's new shoes and effort in class. She is also quick to volunteer to help a classmate find an assignment on their Chromebook. She is not demeaning as she helps, but is encouraging and says, "See, it isn't hard." When playing Kahoot or doing any sort of group work, she wants to make sure everyone has a partner. I've seen her go out of her way to include someone, even if it was not her responsibility. Kaden shows kindness through her actions. She is not only kind to her peers, but also to her teacher and other adults in the building. She is respectful, which yields great kindness. Kaden is quick to pick up trash in the cafeteria, to say thank you as someone opens the door. She takes time to wave and smile under her mask to former teachers just to brighten their day. Kindness right now cannot be shown through a hug or a high five, but that does not stop Kaden from being kind to those around her. She has found other ways to allow her sweet spirit to be noticed. She has been the sunshine in the midst of the chaos and storms of the pandemic this year. I am so thankful to have someone as kind as Kaden in my class. So congratulations to Kaden Peterson.
Thank you. I'd just like to say to Kaden, wherever you are, and I know you're probably at home watching this, congratulations. And I'm please keep up what you're doing. We need more people smiling, more people caring about other people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Watson coming.
Chairman McNeil, Dr. McCord, board members, people present and virtually, I'd like to say good evening. Marlboro County High School's Character Education Person of the Month is Miss Emily Radford. She's a ninth grader here at Marlboro County High School. Her teacher, Miss Bass, says that Emily, also known as Emma, is one of the kindest people I know. Every day she speaks to the entire class and tells them hello and asks how everybody's doing. Some students who do not respond to me hardly will always respond to her. She is the first to jump up and offer assistance to those around her if I am busy with another student. Lastly, Emma is keen on making sure her fellow students are emotionally well as she takes time to listen when others are upset. Her heart has an abundance of kindness to share. Marlboro County High School's February Student of the Month, Ms. Emily Radford.
And Emily, we're looking for new elementary teachers, girl, so you can go ahead and get started right now. It's a good way to get it started. Food service audit?
No, we're going to spell it.
Where's Luke? You almost gave me a heart attack.
Is Luke here?
Is
He's
Luke
not
here? He's here?
Where is he? Have him come up to the front.
Man.
And I'm going to join you up here. Let's everyone give Luke a round of applause. We have to celebrate young people like Luke, who goes on a regional stage virtually and represents not just his school, his family, but Marlboro County School District by coming in first place in the PD Regional Spelling Bee. He now will represent us. He will represent not just Marlboro County, but the PD region in Washington, D.C. this summer. We had a chance to watch it, and it was great. He spelled the word I still can't spell. I looked it up. Congratulations to you. You want to say anything? You want to give us the word? Can I challenge you with the word? Thank you so much. Is his family here? What's his mom? Come on up. I know you're proud. Come up and recognize our food services department. Good evening.
Good evening.
Chairman McNeil, Superintendent McCord, and Board of Trustees, I would like to bring Sandy Wallace up. And as she comes up, I would like to recognize her and her department. Marlboro County School District Food Services Department recently had a virtual week-long routine visit with the South Carolina Department of Education Food Services Department in early February. All areas of the program complied, except for minor concerns such as being mindful of certain sizes and the incorrect civil rights non-discriminatory language on the district's website, which have been corrected, by the way. Food Service Director Sandy Wallace and School Nutrition Services Supervisor Amanda Pruitt have done a superb job in ensuring the district follows all federal and state guidelines. Let's give it up for Sandy Wallace.
Now, I do want to say, I'm fine with the citation for food service items, because we give too much food. So that's a blessing. Thank you.
We only missed about a quarter.
Hey, it's all good.
You can always give them more. Congratulations.
Bring them up. And now, coming to the stage, Marlboro County Bulldogs. Bring them up to the front. Bring them up to the front, Coach Grace. Coach Dr. Powers, give them a standing ovation. Round of applause for these young men. Now, these young men are coming out of practice, and so their legs are weary. I'm not going to steal your thunder, Coach Collins. I'm going to let you introduce everyone, and Coach Grace. Here's Coach Troy Grace.
Coach Grace has a 5-month-old at home, so she started running the fever, so he left practice a little early today.
Okay.
So I'm going to have Coach Coachman and Coach Purvis that's going to introduce the players, and then I know, Doc, that you guys want to recognize them today also.
Yes.
I'll let you go, Coach Coachman.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
All right. First up, we got Caleb Brown. Next up, Dravion Scott. Next is Devontae Oliver. Keon Adams. Sean Lucas. Justin Purvis. And Nori Adams. And Coach Purvis. And Coach Knox on the end.
Mr. Dravion Scott was our player of the year this year in the conference. And Mr. Oliver hit the game-winning shot last
I know I won't be in anybody's way now. Coach, get you guys here. We'll make sure, and that's what's in that box right there, y'all. We're gonna make sure everybody gets one. Now, on behalf of the board, we can't say how proud we are of you guys and all the hard work you're doing, the time that you put in to put us back on the map again. We do appreciate you. We thank you for all that you're doing and your hard work. And if there's anything that we can do to help, please let us know. And again, congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Shirt on the back. We put a rush order on these shirts the other night so we could get them in. And these shirts will be on sale at Coach Collins tomorrow?
Yes, starting tomorrow.
Okay. And some of you that are looking to get your shirts and ticket information, I'm going to let you talk about that a little bit. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
See Aiken on Thursday to play the state championship. And each basketball team receives 300 tickets. We release 100 tickets tonight at 6 p.m. We will release another 100 tickets tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And the basketball players and the faculty and staff have an opportunity to buy 100 tickets today. So as of 15 minutes ago, we've already sold 200 tickets. So the last 100 tickets will sell tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So everybody, please make sure you log on to our school website, our district website, and our Facebook page to be able to get the link to be able to purchase some tickets for the game. On Wednesday at 3 o'clock, you will also have a chance to be able to purchase tickets. Those tickets will be split between Marlboro County High School and Seneca High School. So the first 100 people that log on to gofan.com, you get an opportunity to be able to purchase those tickets. And Thursday at 9 a.m., if any tickets are left over, they will give you an opportunity to be able to purchase tickets for the game. They will not sell any tickets at the gate. They will take high school league passes, but it's only 10 passes per team, which means if you are standing at the gate and the first 10 people get in the game, you get an opportunity to get in for free with their guests. But we're excited for the young men. The guys are going to be leaving 9 a.m. Thursday morning to head down to Aiken, stop for a meal, be able to go and get warmed up and get ready for a win.
High school league, the website, the live stream.
Yes, so you will also be able to watch the game at the South Carolina High School League. It is a fee for that. They have not released the fee price out yet. They will give that to us first thing in the morning. But for those who will not be able to travel to the game, you will be able to watch the game live stream on Thursday.
Channel 21 is going to broadcast all the state high school league games.
Yes, sir.
That's for
correct.
$10. For $10. For $10. Okay. Watch what happens this
That's
week.
going to be for $10. He is correct. They're going to charge you for to be able to view the game this time.
That was to get your feet wet.
Wow.
All right, thank you so much. Again, congratulations to the miraculous season. For some of you that have seen the games, I call this crew the Cut Close Boys. I think this year they've won 7 or 8 games by 1 point, and then the other night we won by 2 points. And so I can't wait until Thursday. I know we're going to win by at least 3 points. Cut Close Boys. So congratulations one last time. Thank you. Selena Blue.
Yeah, Selena Blue, Marlboro County Google certified teachers.
As Ms. Blue comes up, she's going to share a little bit about, we do a lot of vision talk in Marlboro County. And the reason for that is because I don't necessarily like to live in the present, because I believe we prepared for this day. With that in mind, we started out a little while ago, maybe a little over a year ago, with the vision, and Selena Blue is going to share that with you tonight. And it goes directly, or speaks directly to how we're going to improve instructionally across the district.
Good evening, Board Chair. Ms. McNeil, school board members, Dr. Ford. I would like to present to you information about our journey with Google Certified Educators. What is a Google Certified Educator? Google Certified Educators is a program that is designed and managed by Google for educators to use G Suite for Education as part of their teaching and student learning. The program combines classroom experience with Google-developed training resources and examinations that lead towards certification. Why become a Google Certified Educator? This is a fantastic opportunity and way for teachers to demonstrate their ability to teach with Google tools. The training is designed to help educators master the Google products and skills specific to each one and is sure to greatly advance teachers' knowledge and skill set. So it gives me great privilege to let you know all of our Google Educator teachers that are within our district. Bennettsville Intermediate School, Laura Brett, Stephanie Parker. And if you notice, there are several levels to the Google certification. There's Google Level Certification 1, Level 2, and Google Trainer are the ones that we are proud to announce that we have gained in our district. Bennettsville Primary, Adrian Harris, Denise McLaurin, Jessica Hooper, and Victoria Kirby. Clio Elementary School, Jamie Maynard. Blenheim Middle School of Discovery, Sabrina Dawkins, Nicole Chmielowski. McCall Elementary Middle School, April Bryant, Michael Baker, Rashma Singh, Whitney Camacho, Kelly Dew. Marlboro County High School. And Marlboro County High School, I'm proud to announce, leads the district with the most Google certified level 1 and level 2 teachers.
You can only see Dr. Watson.
Loretta Brown, Krishna Chunchi, Lisette Clark Thompson, Smriti Mulkey, Alexa Sanders, Krishna Shaker, Nardito Solito, Catherine Landsberg. And I'm sorry, Catherine Landsberg belongs to McCall. Shireen McFarland, Sabuta Velour, Sanutha Lavur, Wallace Elementary Middle School, Patricia Bennett, Cheryl Brigman, Ashley Taylor, and Lisa McCray Dudley is a Google certified trainer. District Office, Davita McCall, Marquita McLean, and yours truly, a Google certified trainer. Currently, we have 25 Google Level 1 certified educators, 5 Level 2, and 2 trainers, for a total of 32 Google certified educators. Our goal is to be 100% certified by the end of the 2023-2024 school year. Here's a graph depicting how we plan on getting there. It is by increasing the number of Google certified educators by 50% each year. How do we increase those numbers? Continued professional development sessions through our in-district Google Bootcamp, stipends for teachers, and more recognition for teachers who certify. In 2018-2019 school year, Marlboro County began its professional development journey in order to have Google certified educators within the district. We began with a Google Bootcamp in which we held 2 courses for Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2. During the 2019-2020 school year, we held 2 additional Google Boot Camps, and this current school year, we have already held 2 boot camps with 3 more planned. Any questions?
I'd just like to say thank you to you, Ms. Blue, for leading this effort. Some of you may recall in the year 2018, 2019, we were not a one-to-one district. We are now pre-K-12. We had 0 Google certified teachers. Now we have 32. Again, we do a lot of vision talking. We're trying to prepare ourselves for 5 years down the road. And I'd like to say thank you to the staff that have already completed at least Google 1 certification. Looking forward to you completing Google 2 certification. And of course, when you become a Google certified trainer, it increases your earning potential because you can then take that knowledge and train others for additional earnings. And so thank you for all that you're doing and all that those that are doing in this community to help support our teachers.
Thank you very much. Public comment, got Mr. Charles Graham.
Good evening, board chair, superintendent, members of the board.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We start the clock yet?
Yes, sir.
All right, I ain't gonna be able to hold 3 minutes. Some of the older board members, you remember me and Charles Brown from a couple of years ago. This time I'm back, I'm a little bit more calm this time. I want to help in us getting this field turf. Like I know many people, the first question would be about money and different things, but like I told y'all before, my fight always has and will be for the kids. And I feel the field turf will be a benefit for now. It'll give the kids, like now we spend so much money resodding the field, resodding the field every year, every other year, and it still don't fix issues. When we talk about our kids, and I was at a meeting last week, and we were thinking of the things that when somebody say Marlboro County, what do they think of? And we can't hide the fact that when you talk about the county, you talk about athletics. You think about our athletics. And the field will give us another advantage because of the other districts, neighboring places, they don't have it. And now, I want our kids to start having some of the things that some of the other places have. Like not only just in the school, but also in the community. They say, hey, man, how we gonna curb the kids doing this and the curb doing that? We gotta give our kids something to see. Our kids go in other places and they playing on other fields, and it's like, man, what if we had that? I want to give them an advantage. I know it's about education, but at the same time, we have to use what we have. And right now, if athletics is going to keep my babies off these streets, in a field that I feel like will give them an opportunity to do certain things, like right now, we got COVID going on. If we got turf out there, the kids sit at the house. They ain't doing no exercise. If we got turf, we can put them on the field sometime, and they can do exercise. Right now, it rained, last week? It'll probably be May by the time the field dry real good. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, those are the things that, to get rid of. Even when you talk about when the season gets started, the field gonna get wet. We risk the kids really getting hurt because we get one good rain and the field really done for. But I think, like, we have a lot, as far as, like, other people coming in, playing different type tournaments, using the field, creating revenue by having the field where we can play whether it's 7-on-7s, whether it can be community type events. We can create revenue by having the field, and you be able to have different things where you won't have to do this to it, do that to it. Like it'll be there for us. It'll be for the community, not just for the kids. So I think like I say, if I got to, I'll be back every other Monday until we do something for the field, man. Because I'm gonna keep pushing. If I feel like it's something that our kids can benefit from, I'm gonna keep pushing till somebody talk about getting it for us, y'all. This Saturday, I got 30 seconds. This Saturday, the men, 5 of us have put together a program. This Saturday, it's gonna be 5 of us. We're gonna lead a march down Main Street, back up to the courthouse. And the basis of our march this Saturday is to get the men of the community back involved in changing and reshaping our community for the betterment of our kids and also for the betterment of our county. That's 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Nothing but positivity. Come out if you got young boys, a man in the family, whoever, send the kids to Main Street and we're going to march to the courthouse. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you very much. Board items for discussion. School calendar, 22.
School calendar. Last month you approved the calendar for 2021-22 and asked me to look at what the public may want for 22-23, and we do have a survey. Did we bring the PowerPoint for the survey? I didn't see it in the packet. If not, we can put that item. I can tell it to you, but I can put the item back on for March 22nd. But we had about 1,045 that participated in the survey. We do have it. It is up? No, we don't have it. Okay. Well, we did send out and submit to the community a year-round calendar with 9 weeks on and 1 week off. This is the calendar for 22-23,
And again, I'll bring that to you at the next board meeting. We had 1,045 that responded to the survey. Of the 1,045, I believe about 50+% were parents. We had a large number of teachers that were included in the survey. And off the top of my head, 55% said they would like to explore a year-round or a modified year-round calendar. 55% and 45% said that's something they would like to see. This is the calendar that they had to select. All of you in the room, I'm sure, received that survey, and some of you may have even participated. As I said to you before, personally, I like the modified year-round calendar. But because we are coming out of COVID, and we would like to have a chance to create some summer school for our students, we would look to do this for the 22-23 school year, but I did want to follow up because I think, Mr. Driggers, you asked me to send out a survey, and I did. So I'll have it in the next meeting, but 55% and 45% said that they would like to explore a year-round calendar.
Are you still taking the survey, or is it been completed?
It's been completed, but I'll be more than happy to put it back out again because I am curious as to know what others would like. And by the way, just because we put a survey out doesn't mean we'll always follow it. However, I like to support when we can, and I think this is definitely one that I'll be bringing back to you on the 22nd to support. I'm told. So here it is here, 1,050. And as you can see, 63% were parents. I'm going to offer my numbers, 999 responses for where the child attends school. If you go up, 572 said they would like to see the district move to an extended year calendar, and 485 said that they would like to continue with the traditional calendar. If my numbers are correct, I believe that is 55% saying that they would like to see that as an option for next year.
What about staff?
Go back down to staff. Staff that participated in this, you can click on the number. Staff is blue, 21% of staff, so that's 225 staff members. Teachers, 225 teachers.
They were all in favor of it? Or does it say?
Well, right here, I'd have to pull that out. Let me go back to that. I understand the question you're asking. I'll pull that out, and I'll bring that on the 22nd.
Can we run another survey on that? Maybe give a lot of people that didn't know we was running a survey the opportunity to chime in.
We had 1,050 participate. Now, again, that's a large percentage. I mean, considering we had 3,700 students, you figure there are about 5,000 adults.
How many students?
I'm sorry?
How many students?
Well, we didn't survey the students.
Didn't survey the students?
No, sir. Some things I think I'll just say we didn't survey the students.
Yeah, just say that.
We didn't survey the students.
Was there a differential based on high school versus elementary, middle?
I didn't pull it out for that much detail. What I did was submit the survey as you see it. As I said to you earlier, all of you received it to view. I'd be more than happy to go back and pull out the information that I do have and share it with you. And again, I apologize because those were not questions that were asked of me prior to sending out the survey. With that much specificity, we can definitely resend the survey, but anytime you get 1,050 people respond, that's a good survey sample.
The cost analysis that was asked for to compare the traditional calendar versus the extended calendar, has that been done?
We have completed that, but it is not included, and that is why I said I'd like to bring it for the 22nd. But the cost analysis will show how much it costs for the drivers and the buses and the gas, because that will be the shift.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I understand you say you were addressing the cost involved. Is that correct? Okay.
22nd.
So you don't know the cost yet?
I do, but I want to make sure I have the numbers correctly. One of the things that we can't project is what the cost of fuel is going to be moving forward. Some of you probably, when you go to the gas station, you notice it's changing quite rapidly. And so we'd like to try to forecast it out.
If I heard you correctly when you started this, you mentioned something to the effect of summer school. Are you talking about students going to summer school or just, okay. So if I'm looking at this calendar correctly, there's only 1 month that summer school would be available, but not being utilized, correct?
Correct. For 22, 23.
Right.
22, 23, yes.
Any other questions? COVID-19.
Okay, this is going to be this is return to school plan that I submitted to you this evening. As you know, we said we would always follow the science, follow the data, and return students to school safely or as safely as we can. And this plan will show that across the district, our numbers are declining with both positive cases and quarantine cases. This is the information that's been provided to us as of March 1st. We have had 102 total positive cases, 116 total positive cases for staff. And again, these numbers increase exponentially at or around December. If you look at the numbers for the past 30 days, and we did this by school so that everyone can see where the cases are for faculty and students. For those of you that know your math signs, that number on the right side of the bracket, that's less than. And as you can see, we have significantly lower cases, both in students and in staff at each of our schools. And this is not just happening here in Marlborough County, but in the PD region, in the state, and across the country. We're not saying or suggesting that we are beyond COVID, but we are saying that what has been happening and occurring is working. With that in mind, I'd like to submit to the board that beginning next Monday, March 8th, grades pre-K through 5 will begin a 4-day-a-week schedule. They currently attend school 2 days a week. And grades 6 through 12, hybrid students that is, grades 6 through 12 will remain with 2 days a week, whether they're Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. Virtual Academy students will continue attending as they do for the remainder of the semester. Students will be allowed to exit virtual schooling for face-to-face, but they will not be allowed to enter into Virtual Academy. Now, go back for a second, Georgia. Sorry. With pre-K through 5 having a week head start on 6/12, that's strategic so that we can identify the areas that will need more attention. As you know, we're still operating with 67% capacity for school buses. That hasn't changed. That has not been lifted, which essentially means we can get no more than 1 student per seat. We can get 2 students per seat if they reside in the same household. So we'll adhere to that. So giving us about a 5-day head start to see what our bus situation is looking like. Also coupled with the fact that we have lost several drivers. As I mentioned to you for the past couple of months, there's a new plant in Florence that is open, and our drivers are looking for opportunities elsewhere. And I'll address that in a moment. March 15th, all students that are not virtual students will attend school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will do this for the remainder of the month of March. The first week in April, we will be out for spring break. And we return back April 12th. So we'll have a significant period of time where we will be without students or staff for spring break. Immediately upon returning after spring break concludes, I'd like to transition then to 5 days a week for the remaining 9 weeks of school. Now, if you look at the data across the state, roughly about 50% of schools have students in school already 5 days a week. I think we have extended our time quite naturally to do so for safety precautions. But again, if you are paying attention to the data and the science as I am, then you too know that the numbers so dictate. This will be the schedule that we will follow for the remainder of the year unless the science and the data show something different. If we have cases of outbreaks, then accordingly we will shut down classrooms and or schools and continue with the virtual model. I cannot predict the future, so I cannot tell you how this virus may reoccur or reappear, but I can tell you we are continuing with the safety protocols, masking up, keeping the points of separation as best possible, and deep cleaning our buildings nightly so that we can keep everyone safe. In addition to addressing our shortage of staff, both at the custodial level, both at the bus driver level and in some cases the cafeteria level, we want to propose to the board that we do what we did last summer. Some of you may recall we offered an additional $25 a day for drivers and cafeteria staff. That's not a lot, but that is a lot. If you fold it all up at the end of the week, that's an extra $100 for 4 days a week, an extra $125 for 5 days a week. This money is recoverable using ESSER funds. And so again, we'd like to keep our drivers as comfortable as we can and ask them to continue to support us in our efforts to transport our students safely.
I only have a couple of questions, a question. Thank you, George. I know we've been practicing social distancing, that much I know, and I know we've been doing it in the classroom. And as a result of that, it has kept our numbers down probably as low as they are now. My question is, going back to 4 days a week, how would that affect social distancing as far as the number of kids in a classroom?
To be quite honest with you, many of our students have already begun the transition. I said to you last month that our schools have been open 4 days a week for students and families that have wanted to be in the building. I can't tell you that I know for certain how many will show up. It is going to be a regular school day. I can tell you schools are prepared, principals have prepared their buildings as best possible to accommodate students, and if and when they see a need to move or relocate a class, they're prepared to do so.
So we will do everything we possibly can as far as social distancing these kids.
Most definitely.
Okay, that's one thing. Because I understand right now it does work well where it is right now, but with more kids coming in, that would be something we want to consider.
And I do want to point out too, Chairman McNeil, the science show and reflect that the rise in cases is not coming from students. So I bring that up just to help everyone understand that students have not been consistently seen as carriers more so than adults. I also want to bring up the fact that, as I said earlier, there are roughly about 50% of the schools across the state that have been in school 5 days a week for quite some time. Some they began as early as the beginning of the school year. And so I do want to make sure that we all look at the data. Don't just take my word for it, but research it for yourselves.
How many students are currently riding the bus to school?
Right now, we don't have a lot of students riding the buses, but of course, we have students staggered, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's a little different when you say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all of them come. So we'll know how many we can get on the buses, if we have to double route, and in some cases triple route, because not only are we short-staffed, but also because we are mandated to keep 67% capacity. With smaller kids, we can have more than one to a seat because they're smaller, if they're in the same household. As they get bigger, of course, we have to spread them out a little bit more.
What type of sanitation and decontamination methods are being used to make sure that those buses are safe?
And Mr. McNeil, if I'm wrong, correct me, but buses are cleaned regularly before, after each ride. So when students are transported to a school, the bus is cleaned, and then again in the evening, when they're transported home, the buses are cleaned. And drivers also spend a great amount of time taking a lot of pride in wiping the seats down, wiping the rails down periodically throughout the day. So is that correct?
Thank you.
And the drivers are always masked, and many of the drivers wear gloves.
Mr. Branch?
I got several questions. One, will the students be required to wear masks on the buses?
Yes.
Okay.
And they do that now.
Okay. What about temperature checks? Do we do temperature checks at the schools, or will we?
We do not do the, let me take that back. We do temperature checks for the adults, but not for the students. So each school, I think I recall bringing to your attention back around December, November, we have a thermal scan, so each adult that enters the building should, and it is an expectation that they enter the building at a central spot and the temperature is checked, but not the students.
So is it, should we consider the students or not?
I'm not considering that for several reasons. Because you have students coming in and out of different places, the log jam, and then we would want to have people that are certified to take the temperatures. That would be the nurse. So the complications associated with it have led me to believe that that's not the most prudent of ways to get students in the building.
All right, my last question. So we could have some classrooms with as many as 25 students, is that correct?
Not to my knowledge. I think in talking with the principals, and the principals are behind me, I think when they look at their rosters, I don't think that's going to be an issue, because we still have a third of our population opted for virtual school. But again, we'll know when we begin.
Okay. What about the teacher? They won't be teaching students in the class and kids at home, will they?
In some cases, they will. But again, this is something that is not just here in Marlboro County, that's nationwide. Ideally, we would like for those that are teaching virtually to only have to teach virtually. So when you say synchronous and asynchronous, students and staff are on the same pages, but again, we're in a different world where we have to modify and adjust accordingly. So it is possible that that will be happening in some cases.
Would it be a large percentage of our teachers?
I can't tell you that it will be a large percentage. I can't tell you that it is going to happen.
Because I would like to see maybe have an aide in that class if they're doing both. Because it's kind of hard to keep your concentration on the kids in the class and also on the...
They're doing it now. Been doing it since September.
We want to increase our academics. I think we've got to do everything we can to make sure that child succeeds.
Okay.
It's just a consideration.
Thank you.
I just wanted to bring up that at the convention that we went to, I attended a session put on by Anderson 4, which said they'd been back in school since August. And they've had 5 days a week, and they are only spacing 3 feet apart. But they are using shields such as this, have had no problems with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And maybe, I do know we do have shields, but let's just hope that we're still using them and they are operable. I know there are some cases where the desk may be larger or smaller, should I say, than the shield, but that's something I think we need to take into consideration as well.
Schools are using shields. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. I'll just be honest with you, because, I mean, you can go over, you can go under, you can go around, but it is a measure of protection. We have the mask. Again, we're doing everything that we can to keep everyone safe. And the shields provide another barrier or another level of support, and we definitely have it.
Do y'all have extra?
Extra what?
Do y'all have extra masks at the
Can you
school
pull
for
it down?
students that do not have masks?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Do y'all have extra masks at school? So when you have a child to come in with a mask?
Oh, if you don't have a mask, you're given a mask. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Will the bus drivers have masks?
For students? Yes.
Mr. Drake. First, I think it's time to get back in class also. But as we get back into class, are we going to try to incorporate everything that school incorporates, which I'm talking about extracurricular activities, the senior prom, the graduation we will have? I mean, are we going to try to get back to everything normal when we do this in March?
We do have on the agenda tonight, the high school will talk about their extracurricular activities for the remainder of the year. I can say to you that in cases where we can, it will occur, but we're going to just follow the data. Follow the data and see where it leads us. I don't want to forecast something, because if I say it tonight, and everyone's going to say, well, that's what he said, that's what we're going to do. I think we all know we're at a point in time where we have to be flexible and be able to pivot at a moment's notice.
But we're going to attempt to try to get back to as normal as we possibly can
As
the
much
last
as
couple of
possible.
months.
As much as possible. And that's why I think, again, having the final 9 weeks, 5 days a week, we'll have had March to see where we are, to see how everything is going, to see where the science is in our county, in our district, and then we'll continue to move the needle a little bit more. Ms. Carson?
We had a discussion last week, and I want to see all our kids back in school also. And the safer the better. And I brought up the fact that I thought maybe we should start by trying 3 days first for the month of March, then move into March and April, then maybe 4 in April, and fourth in. But I think that would be safer because we don't know what the science is, and I don't want us to move too fast and have another outbreak. Right now, I don't think we're out of the woods, but we're having teachers and administrators having to go in and help teach classes now because we're having a lot of teachers out of school now because of the virus. So just don't want us to rush too fast and move too fast and have an outbreak and we lose the 3 or 4 days and be back to virtual. But whatever the way of the board.
Again, I do appreciate and respect what you're saying, Mr. Grossman, you're right. We don't want to move too fast, and that's why I'm proposing we do 4 days a week rather than 5. If you look around in the PD region, you read the papers, you see the news, you see the reports. This is where I can stand here and tell you I want to see kids back in school safely. I don't think a teacher in Marlboro County will tell you anything different. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I can tell you that if we're doing everything and exercising in the manner that we're saying that we are, we're in position to get our kids back in school, be able to find out some of those things that we haven't been able to find out because we haven't had them consistently. And whether you know it or not, it is difficult engaging a child online. So the more cracks at it we get, having them sit in front of us, we talk about improving instruction. And by the way, we're holding the line. We're just barely showing the line. So it is time, as you said, Mr. Driggers, and this is the plan that I'd like to move forward.
I too want to see the students back in school 5 days. My only hesitation is I wanted to see these teachers and students have the opportunity to have the vaccine first. So that's my only hesitation with moving back to 5 days a week.
Okay, appreciate it.
Is this something we need to vote on?
It's my presentation to you. I don't think it requires a vote. This is my plan moving forward. It's for information.
Okay.
But you could always say, hey, I vote against it. But I wouldn't encourage it. I probably shouldn't have told you that. So this is my plan.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Next, we'll stay up here on next.
Oh, we have the East Side School Preservation Alumni Association. No, it's not. Part of what we've been doing with the East Side School Preservation Alumni Association has asked that we consider 1 year before we make any decisions when it comes to the property that is known as East Side School. And we have agreed, and one of the things that the association has done, as members of that association, has agreed to do a quarterly report, or at least let us know something quarterly about what's going on. And all of you have in your possession, I do believe, an update. I'm sorry, an update of where Eastside is as far as what they've done in this past quarter, and they will continue to do as well. I don't know if I was to read this out publicly, but I know that each board member has it, and it was for our information for us. We do appreciate Mr. Jonathan, who's the designated correspondent, for getting this to us and doing it in a timely manner and being efficient in what you said that you would do. We appreciate that very much, and we will continue to move forward as long with you to make sure that everything's done that can be done to get these properties where we hope they'll be at some point in time.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Coachman.
Yeah, I think we need, we should give the.
He's standing up now.
Opportunity.
He's standing up now. I'm assuming he's coming forward.
Mr. Chairman, frankly, with the good thing we heard tonight.
If you come up to the mic, you
I'm
don't.
sorry.
If you just come up to the mic.
Tonight, and the fact that everything's moving along, we took your information that you sent us literally, and we responded accordingly. So I really don't think, unless there's questions from you, or unless there's comments from other members of the association, I think we're kind of okay with all this. We've got some challenges. Those buildings were neglected to high hill. Okay? Mr. Superintendent, I know you weren't here when it started, but you're here now. Bottom line is, we're gonna keep working. We want your support. We can make this happen. Funding is not gonna be the big deal you think it is. And that's kind of what I have to say at this point, unless you have some comments.
Any comments, any questions from
I
anybody?
have a question.
Okay.
Mr. Coachman?
Mr. Jonathan, after visiting the school and seeing what you saw, do you think you guys would have a plan to save what you got there and to do the things that you want to do to preserve East Side School for your organization and for this county?
That's our commitment to you. And again, as you saw in the presentation, it dealt initially with those 3 locations. We are asking to come back now by the 13th of this month, which is a couple Saturdays away. And we're going to deal with the other portions of the building and move right on. So I guess the short answer to what you're asking is yes.
Okay.
Anybody? Okay.
Again, thank you for your promptness
Thank you so
and
much.
effectiveness. Okay. Final cost for forensic audit.
Where's, so there was a request for the information related to the forensic audit. As you know, that information was shared. The information was shared as a result of the audit. There were no findings to lead to any additional research to be done related to the $10 million bond for forensic. That's not information, George. let me share with you the final cost of the audit, and I'll give it to you in numbers while you look for the information. Technology is good at some points, and at some points it goes out. The final cost for the forensic audit for the firm that conducted the audit was $17,613 that was spent, and the legal fees associated $7,351.25 for a total of $24,964.25. This question came as a result of one of the agencies associated with wanting to know the final cost, and I'm just sharing this information. I don't know if you have any questions on it, but that's what the cost was.
Any questions?
Legal fees, who were those fees paid to and that's for?
You may have to take the mask off if you do.
Legal fees, who were they paid to?
The legal fees were paid to our legal counsel, Story and White. And that was associated with the multiple meetings, executive session to discuss this, the parameters of what it was, that if there was something that the board was looking for, those that voted for it, but those are the fees that were associated, $7,351.25.
Any other questions?
I guess my question would be, with the audit and the fees and everything that's presented to us, is everyone on the board satisfied with the information that we received? And if not, I'm going to say, please speak up if you're not satisfied. This is just coming from Danny, but if we're satisfied with it, we can move forward and leave this behind us. So is everybody satisfied with the results?
I'm satisfied that we had the audit done. I am.
Well, I'm satisfied that we were able to get almost $15 million worth of projects completed, not just on time, but before time, with $10 million. And we're still working to complete a few of those projects, one of which I'm about to bring up as the next item. So this is not something that I was able to accomplish alone. This was something that was accomplished by us as a board. To be quite honest with you, I was a little uncertain about the nature of the reason of the forensic audit, but I too am glad that it was conducted because it satisfies those that may have had questions. I don't know what those questions are, and really not my concern, but at the end of the day, I'm hoping that we can move forward and continue to work with the district now.
Okay. I just have one question. This audit was not a budgeted item, was it?
It was not.
So, does this $24,964.25 come out of general funds?
It does come out of general funds, but it's coming out of the board account. And what I mean by that is you have a budget. Your budget is not being utilized to the fullest because you haven't had the conferences and travel and other things that you would traditionally have in the course of the year. So it's coming out of the board account, but that is out of the general account. Yes, sir. That's money that we are having to pay out.
Any other questions?
I just want to say that during the audit firm that we hired did say that there was no findings, and that's a good thing for our county. But also at the same time, he also said that fraud may never be found and can be hidden. So those were the exact words. So I'm glad that they didn't find anything. I feel good about the fact that we're on the right track. That was the total work that I said.
Sure. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay, we can move forward.
One of the things that we have not completed and happy to report that we're in position to complete, and that is continuing with improving the athletic facilities here in Marlboro County. we are an academic institution, Marlboro County School District. However, we do so continue with our efforts to improve the athletic facilities for the students in the community that we serve. So there's always a question as to whether or not synthetic fields are better than natural fields. And when I say natural, I just say grass. Many of you know and have seen synthetic fields at other schools, in other districts, as well as when you attend college and professional games. This is a picture of Marlboro County School District football field right now with everything minus the synthetic turf. And so the area provided by our Public Relations Department, Ms. Marquita McLean, this is what the field looks like now minus the turf. This is what the field will look like with the turf. And let's talk about some of the pros of having the turf. First of all, turf, you can access it 24/7, right? This allows us flexibility to schedule games anytime, any day. No closing of fields due to rain. I heard someone mention earlier the torrential rains that we have causes the field to be out of use for safety reasons and because of flood reasons. And this is because of problems that have existed for quite some time. The irrigation system or the drainage system is just not complete enough to drain properly. Revenues coming in for the school, the community, having a relationship with the recreation department, those are great reasons. But for me, something that we very rarely have seen here in Marlboro County is the ability to host competitions, regional competitions, statewide competitions, to include band, to include ROTC, to include community competitions. So again, these are just some, yes, you have a question before I continue?
I got a question for you, Louis.
Let me go back.
You saying that the rain, I understand what you're saying, but when you put synthetic turf, where does the rain go? I mean, it's still gonna rain, so where does it go?
Glad you asked the question. Before they turf the field, they go in and they make sure they put the proper drainage system so that when the rain comes down, it goes through into a drain. If you look at the playgrounds that we installed at, I think, 3 of our schools, they have synthetic turf. When it rains, it doesn't flood, it doesn't hold water because of the way that they were built up.
So the next question will be, because I've already looked at this and I know the audience has not, but the total cost that you're going to be presenting to us does include the drainage system.
Oh, most definitely.
Correct?
Most definitely. And even if we did not get turf, that's a field issue that needed to be addressed many years ago. And so again, this is the way that we're going to address it. Because the cost is going to be big, we may as well get the most bang for the money that we're going to have to spend. So that's a great question.
Speaking on that point, we just addressed the rain situation a few years ago. It's been $200,000.
And didn't do it good. It wasn't right.
And restarted. No good.
I'm glad you brought that up. Don't forget to mention that was before my time.
A little bit.
It was before my time. And the reason I say that is because that was money that could have been used back then to do what I'm proposing we do now. Increase interest in athletic activities. Right now, we currently field 12, maybe 13 teams at Marlboro County High School, which limits our students that are wanting to participate in athletics. Some of you know we completed the field last year, so for the first time in about 20 plus years, Marlboro County can host a track meet. Think about the number of student athletes that did not have an opportunity to compete or receive a college scholarship because of the fact that they did not compete. But the possibilities are endless. We can have the fields marked permanently for boys and girls soccer, boys and girls lacrosse, field hockey, rugby. Again, football is just one thing that can be done on that field, but it's not the only thing. That field can be used literally 365 days of each year, 24/7. And so it just excites me talking about it.
Does that turnkey cost come with the park to cover the field?
I can't tell you, I know that to be true. That is something I can look at. So I can't answer yes to that, but I can find out what that cost is. Now, TARP, and let me just say this for a moment. TARP isn't going to do anything that the field can't do with a properly drained field. TARP is not, we can get to that part, but TARP's not going to do anything.
TARP's on professional fees.
Yeah, but, you know, there's a lot of work that goes with that tarp. You know, that's not something you just lay out like a napkin. They'll put that tarp out, you have to have a crew. That's another expense. Again, some of the pros, no water is needed, no pesticides, no fertilizer, which increases and improves the green space that we have in Marlboro County, no contaminated stormwater runoff, and I can go on and on with the advantages. Here's one that I think is great. Being able to host events increases the stream of revenue for many different reasons. Whenever there's an activity, concessions will have to be sold. Whether you have vendors inside or outside of the stadium, it increases revenue across the county. It's a beautiful backdrop for graduation exercises, and of course, I already mentioned, it endures high traffic. Turnkey costs up front is one of the cons to this. It's going to be somewhere between $850,000 and $950,000. Now, how would you propose we pay for this? Someone has already thought about asking. But before you ask that question, I can just let you know the excitement for completing this project, I hope, is already building up in some of you. This again is the final product. How we would pay for it. You remember back in back in August, the board approved for the GO bonds to be sold, and we would get an advance on the fees associated with the GO bonds. And we received a check in December, on December 4th, for $875,000. After paying out costs associated, we have about $850,000 in that account. I presented to you a list of priorities on how the money will be spent. Windows, doors, HVAC units at the high school, at BPS, at BIS, and McCall. If you recall, when I presented that, it came out to about that amount of money, roughly. However, we would need some additional funds. Thanks to, and I don't say thanks to COVID, but because of COVID, we are now receiving monies by way of the ESSER money, and you've seen those reports. We are going to receive somewhere in the neighborhood of just under $9 million from Marlboro County. I've sent that to you. It's been in all publications. That money can be used to address those items that we had previously scheduled to use these monies for. My proposal is that we take this money now, and because we're in great financial shape, and do something that, one, needs to be done, and two, improves the footprint of this county, improves the possibilities, not just for students and athletics, but also for other activities related to school and community. So I'd like your approval to move forward. Work would begin immediately after graduation, so that we can be completed by the time for the first football game in September.
I'd just like to say, being on board 12 years and having to see our kids deal with, and their parents and the whole community deal with the football field situation we've been having out there since we've been here. Putting carpet on the sidelines, and after it rained 2 or 3 days later, and our football players standing in mud and water on the sidelines. I mean, this county, I've heard the saying, this is a poor county. Since being on this board, we're a poor county, but we've done some great things with the resources and the money that we have. We built 3 new schools. It's all about our children and to put them in a better situation, in a better place. No, we don't have a lot of money, but I think now that if we have the money and the resources, I think it's a gift And it would be a gift for us as a board to put our children in a situation where they don't have to go down to Myrtle Beach or South Florence to get off the bus and they so infatuated by seeing the AstroTurf fields in another county that they forgot about the football game and can't even play. Saying why we can't have this in Marshall County. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for the children of this county and for us to get this done. And I'm all about the children, and I think it's a wonderful idea to take advantage of the opportunity. But I would like to make sure that in doing this, that we take care of all the other obligations that all our other middle schools around the county while this money is available to us, because we're not going to see it again. COVID is going to leave us sooner or later. So let's take advantage of this opportunity and get what we can for our children at this point in time.
And to that point, if I can say, we will be able to draw down, as you recall. And by the way, the board authorized me the duty, the responsibility to spend this money. My only authority to you is to bring to you projected projects. These are capital improvement projects. I did not want to deviate from the plan without your knowledge. But I wanted to let you know that you have money set aside that we can continue in the path that I'm pressing for now. But we also have additional $625,000 if we need to, that we can draw down at the end of September. But again, that will only be if we need to, and I'll talk about that if and when I see the time drawing closer. But we are planning to continue with improving the physical footprint of Marlboro County, all schools and facilities where we have students. Ms. Manville.
Is there any possibility of leveraging any contributions like we did for the scoreboards?
You have to help me understand.
You're talking about Marlboro Co-op, remember they funded some of that, and I believe there was some kind of funding set up. I don't remember exact details, but they would not be able to provide anything or help us with that.
Well, I wouldn't ask them right now because we're fine. But I'm always open for someone who wants to be a contributor. So, we'll keep our eyes open for that.
I have two things that I want each to address for. The first one is, I understand the money, as you say, because of COVID-19. I do not want to not have air conditioning in a building so I can build a football field. So when would we get the money from the COVID-19 to replace the money that you're speaking of using on that? So we'll make sure the facilities are up that we allotted that money for.
Right. If you recall, when we sent the information out about the money that we were receiving for ESSER 2, there are 3 additional buckets. One bucket, and I call them bucket because there were 12 buckets before. One bucket speaks specifically to how monies can be used to improve air quality control in buildings, to include roofing, HVAC, windows, doors, anything that deals with controlling air quality. And so it's a priority for us not just to, and that was in the original plan, it is a priority. We have begun, we'll continue with those efforts. Work is being done daily, but again, we're in a position right now that we would not have been in had it not been for the SO2 funds. And so we're just trying to take advantage of it while we can.
Okay, but I guess
nothing will go undone.
Do I have?
Nothing will go undone.
I think the question is, which will come first?
Yeah.
Work, and I answered, work has begun and work will continue. So I can't tell you the HVAC will be up before the field because we ordered the HVACs and it's not, just a takeout and put in. But as you know, and some of you have seen, I like to have projects moving continuously. And so the work will be completed. I can't tell you, I know which will be completed first, but I can tell you we've already begun the process of ordering the bar units for McCall, for BPS, and the units here for Marlboro County High School.
Okay.
We're also in the process of trying to get a fire alarm or fire panel replacement here. So
it will be ongoing at the same time, is what you're trying to accomplish. All right, my next question was going back to what you said on the sporting events, and it may be something Coach Collins may want to address as much as yourself. But you had several different things. You had field hockey, you had lacrosse, you had all these other things that could be done on the field.
Right.
What are the chances of us initiating that? Because I kind of agree with Mr. Graham, if he's gone yet or not, but we need to do as much as we can to keep our kids active in things to keep them out of trouble, basically. So what are the odds of us getting that type of sporting going on that we can utilize that field and have teams out there on it? Do we have any kind of plan that we in place?
Well, I can tell you the plan is, and it sounds kind of corny, but it goes back to something that we're all familiar with, and that is you build it, they will come. And what I mean simply by that is, once we get the facilities, then we can start the offerings. You start by getting the interest, and then you continue from that point forward. I never would have thought that lacrosse would be as popular as it is across the state. Now, it's not here in Marlboro County because we don't offer it.
We haven't been exposed to it.
We haven't been exposed to it. We don't have the field, but once we put it out there, again, it's up to us to help nurture anyone that may want to continue with something. We haven't been able to maximize students and their abilities as it relates to track and field. We're going to see what happens. Today has already passed us. We're looking towards the future, and I think this is a part of building that future.
If we spend that kind of money, we need to really put a lot of effort as far as getting other avenues of sports available to our children that they might can participate in. And I understand what you're saying, but I just really want to emphasize that we really need to push that.
Right.
Okay.
Ms. Bright?
Okay, so I may have missed something, but the money that you said we received was specific to air quality and HVACs and stuff. So you're asking us to give you permission to use that money to do the field?
No, I can't use the extra money for the field. The projects that I identified back in December that we would be using the gold bond money for, I'm going to use that for the field. Right.
Okay.
And again, it's not permission that I'm asking, I'm making you aware because you've given me the authority. But again, I do want this to be something that we all do together.
Right, I heard you say that, mention that money was specific to an area, so that's why I'm
Yes,
just
ma'am.
asking for
And I
some
appreciate
detail.
that. Yes, ma'am.
Reverend Smith? I'm sorry, I saw Mr. Gamer earlier. I apologize.
I just want to say, I know this opinion is not going to be a popular opinion, but I feel at this time that Marlboro County has more pressing needs as far as facilities and, like, our kids don't have a place to go after school or in the summertime. Those things like that, I think, can address the dropout rate and affect the county as a whole. So I think the football field is great, you know, but just my opinion right now, that I feel that we have more pressing needs. $1 million is a lot of money. I don't want you to see it as just money we're receiving from the state and the federal government. It's free money. $1 million is a lot of money. That's all I have to say.
And I don't disagree with you. There are many pressing needs here in Marlboro County that go beyond the walls of the school. And so bringing in attention and light to our city and our county administrators to step up and assist us with some of those things, it works hand in hand. And so I agree 100%, and hopefully this will spark the charge for those local elected officials to get on board.
Okay, now Mr. Smith, give to Mr. Flower.
Getting back to HVAC units, when I first came to the board, I came to you about air conditioning system being installed in the gymnasium at BIS.
Correct.
So now that we have some money to do these type of things, is BIS included in the installation of HVAC units in that gym?
Have you been to BIS
I
lately?
haven't been there. I've been there, but I haven't been in the gym.
I asked Ms. Hall.
Ms. Hall, from the back of the room.
Yes, we have it, Reverend Smith, and we are so excited.
Already did that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So again, and let me just say to my point earlier, we have projects that we are working on continuously. So you may not see something today, but it doesn't mean that work isn't being done to get it completed before tomorrow. And I say that because I know people sometimes get caught up in saying, I don't see this, I don't see that. But we are working to do everything we said we would do 2 years ago when we brought the idea to you that we wanted to improve our facilities across the district. From the lighting, to the roofing, to the HVAC units, to the facilities, etc. We're working hard to get it done. And I don't think anyone can say without a doubt that where we are now compared to where we were 2 years ago, it pales in comparison. But I don't want to 2 years from now say that we haven't advanced past where we are right now. And so the work continues, and there'll always be work.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes, Dr. McCord, one of my questions is, if we invest $1 million and then we're going to use this field a lot more than just football season, what's going to be the annual cost to maintain it, and how many years is it to last?
It's a great question. The lifespan of a field varies between 10 and 13 years, and the upkeep is minimal in comparison to what we currently spend to keep the field up now. We would still be ahead. So I can't tell you, I know exactly how much the little shavings are that you have to put out periodically, but I know it's far cheaper than what we spend for the sodding, the dirt, the leveling, the chemicals, the pesticides, the irrigation system is currently in place.
Thank you.
You vote on that?
I don't, like I said, unfortunately, I don't need to vote on it, but I would like your approval.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we move forward with the AstroTurf football field, with the proposal that Dr. McCord has presented to the board.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve, we accept, we will approve the recommendation that we given to us by the superintendent. Are you ready for questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Opposers? We have 2 opposed, 3 opposed. 6 approvals.
Right. 3 opposed.
3 opposed. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at the Marlboro County High School activity for spring 2021.
I have Dr. Jermaine Watson come to the front.
So we try as possible to have as much normalcy as we can. This class of 2021 missed out on their junior prom last year, and they missed out on a lot of celebrations. So we have a lot of disappointed seniors and parents right now. We had a virtual meeting with the seniors and their parents on last Thursday, and it went well. We devised a committee of parents, teachers, and students to come up with some activities that are DHEC approved, that we can socially distance and we can do safely. I'm going to go through a list of the things that we talked about. These things will also be posted on our social media website, our social media site, and also on our website. So this is a tentative list right now. Our senior council is going to meet again. We're going to meet again, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember my dates right now. But we'll meet again this week to finalize plans. So on Wednesday, April the 14th, from 10 to 1 p.m., we're going to have our graduation supplies drive. We'll have our teachers standing out front with signs, rooting our seniors on as they drive through to pick up their cap and gown and to grab their graduation supplies. And this will be done by JOSTA. JOSTA sponsors this event. However, Marlboro County High School faculty and staff will be outside cheering them on and rooting them on. We will have a prom. I know that was in question, whether we're gonna have a prom, but we are gonna have a prom. Our prom is gonna be, May 1st, 2021, with the rain date on May 8th, 2021. The thing about prom stipulations is it's going to be seniors only. And the reason why we chose to do seniors only is because of the number of juniors and seniors that we do have. So to accommodate social distancing and to make sure we're staying in due bounds and guidelines, we decided to do seniors only. The graduating seniors, so we have some juniors that we graduate earlier, we'll also be able to participate in prom as well. Juniors, our current junior class, they will have an opportunity to celebrate their prom next year as seniors. So that's the reason why we're doing seniors only. And it will be done outside. We're gonna have a tent set up. It's gonna be decked out, it's gonna be glamorized. I've seen some mock-ups, and like I said, once again, this information will be posted on our social media site and our webpage. So it's not gonna be just some ordinary okey-dokey, we're just trying to throw something together. No, it's gonna be elaborate, it's gonna be extravagant, and it's gonna be something that the class of 2021 can be proud of and hold their heads high about. We're also gonna sponsor a senior week. That's gonna be in June, June 5th, which is a Saturday. We'll begin the festivities, and we're gonna have a graduation parade downtown Bentonville. Seniors will meet here at Marlboro High School in the back parking lot with their cap and gowns. Seniors have the option to drive themselves in the parade, or to have somebody to drive them while they're in the parade. We're gonna have a police escort. Board members, we want you involved in the parade. Dr. McCord, we want you involved in the parade. Administrative team, faculty, staff. It's gonna be a great send-out. This will be June 5th at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. On that following Sunday, June 6th, we're gonna have our baccalaureate service. You know, it's gonna be the Sunday for graduation. Like I said, that's gonna be June 6th. We're going to have that in the back parking lot also. That's going to be outside. We're going to have a speaker. We haven't set that up yet. So if anybody, we have any ecumenical persons that are interested in speaking at our baccalaureate service, please call the school and contact me, and we'll get you the further information. We're going to have a senior cookout or senior breakfast. That date is to be announced. And then we also will have a senior awards program or senior awards night, which will be held in the gym. Masks are required, socially distanced, and you will get 2 tickets to have that. Since it's going to be indoors, we can have to limit the number of people that can attend that event. And then, but last but not least, graduation. June 12th, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Graduates, you will get 4 tickets apiece. It's going to be outside in our stadium. Like Dr. McCord said, that'll be the encore, the end to that old field, and we'll break into new field immediately after graduation. Any questions, comments, concerns, reservations about any of the dates or anything that I mentioned? Once again, like I said, we're going to meet here later on this week to finalize, and this stuff will be posted on our social media site and our school webpage with dates and times, because I know I said this stuff kind of quickly, and some people may have missed it. But we will have this stuff posted just in case you missed something that I may have said.
No, you did say 9 a.m., right? You did say 9 a.m. for the graduation.
Yes, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. to 9, yes, sir. On June 12th.
You can add my name to the potential list of speakers.
Okay, and thank you for getting my round. I'm not Dr. Smith, but I appreciate that. Thank you. But Reverend Smith just said that I could add his name to the list of speakers.
We can't hear you if you need to get close.
I asked him to place my name in consideration for speaking at the baccalaureate.
Mr. Gaines.
I just wanted to say I applaud you and your staff at the high school for trying to keep the kids engaged during this time. That should be commended.
Well, I appreciate that too, Mr. Damon. It's tough, and you got to think back, when you were a senior in high school, maybe you're a freshman in college, how the celebrations you were able to obtain, when these kids are being robbed of it, they come to me all the time, hey, Doc, can we do this, can we do this? A lot of times, I can't, they want to do a senior trip, that couldn't, that wasn't doable or feasible with the way that the numbers were, because you think you planned your senior trips a year in advance so that you can make those installments and those payments. And at the time, we were talking about doing a senior trip, it just wasn't safe. have the time to do a signature.
Right. These are memories that these kids are going to remember for their lives. So I do see it important to at least trying to get some of these things done.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.
And Reverend Smith, will write your name down.
I think we've already touched on this already a couple of times tonight, but
Where fiscal responsibility.
He was talking.
Oh, I apologize.
okay. I think we've already touched on this a couple of times tonight, but as you said just a few seconds ago, trying to make it as normal as we can and towards the end of the year for the seniors and everybody else. That's very important, and again, like it's been said, I commend you for that, and I'm all for it. I hope we can do
Yes, sir, we're going to pull up the best possible. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, fiscal responsibility.
I have Ms. Hubbard come forward.
Again, Chairman Hill, Board of Trustees, Superintendent McCoy. I present you the financial report for the month of February 25th, 2021. We had in our cash coffers a little over $2 million. And as of February 25th, we expended around $17 million of a $34 million budget, which represents 50% of our budget being spent. Right now, or ideally, our budget should have been spent by 67%, but we are underspent by at least 17%, which is a good thing. In your packet as well, there are some budget adjustments for the month of February. Do you have any questions regarding those budget adjustments? Also, in your packet of information is a spreadsheet for February cash transfers. Do you have any questions regarding your cash transfers? Also, I would like to talk about the budget calendar for FY 21-22. In your packet is a proposed budget calendar. We have already started the process in talking with our principals about their staff allocations for next year. Budget work sessions will begin in this month in April to discuss student populations and school district staffing, full-time equivalents. Budget workshop will be scheduled in April and May to discuss facilities, technology, financing consideration, and administrative certified contracts. 3 readings, if we need them, of the proposed budget will be scheduled in the month of June. And of course, this budget calendar can be revised to include additional work sessions as necessary. Do you have any questions regarding the budget calendar for FY 21-22? Okay, we look forward to March 22nd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, if there's no questions, I guess I make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2021-22 draft budget calendar.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the draft of the budget calendar for fiscal year 21-22. All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Opposed, are the same. Yes, we only approve.
Like, she wrote something in the minutes that I neglected when I was in front. I can't just go back. I'm not sure if anyone heard me when I said that I wanted to provide drivers and cafeteria workers with an additional $25 a day. Since that is going to be a change in the budget, you need to make a motion and approve that so that it'll be on record. Again, that is to provide an additional $25 a day for bus drivers and cafeteria workers. Now, I know some might say, why not everyone? But I can tell you, this is where I am right now.
Make a motion that we approve. the recommendation of Dr. Gordon, the bus driver, the cafeteria worker, the extra $25 a day.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve an additional $25 per day cafeteria and bus cafeteria workers and bus drivers. Are you ready for questions? When did you start that?
March 8th, next Monday.
That's to the end of this school year.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For how long will it last?
To the end of this school year. Correct. And again, you know, we're talking about March, April, May, and 2 weeks in June. And what I'm hoping that it will do is help us retain some of our drivers and also reward those that have stuck by us.
Okay, Neil, are you ready to vote? All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Opposed are the same. It has been approved that we agree that Dr. McCourt will pay $25 per day for cafeteria workers and bus drivers.
He's gonna pay it or the district?
I'm sorry?
He said you were gonna pay it.
Oh, no.
You said Dr. Gordon will pay it.
We are going to pay.
The recommendation made by Dr. McCourt.
We wanna make sure.
The recommendation made by Dr. McCourt. Okay, we're at the 5-year strategic plan.
As you know, and as I mentioned to you many times, we need to begin planning a 5-year strategic plan. We are currently in year 3 of the strategic plan that was issued to the state back in 2018. We could wait another 2 years, but I think we need to be ahead of the curve, especially considering we are on, hopefully, the downside of the pandemic. With that in mind, as I have shared with you, I'd like to reach out and contract with a company that can help navigate us through the strategic planning process. This is going to be an integral part of the new hires that are coming on board, and that's leading us through this plan to not only include instruction, but facilities, employment, community, and any other area that you believe is going to be necessary for us to move forward again for 5 years. So I want to bring it up again because I think it's time now for us to move forward. And if you can be involved, that would be great. But I'm going to be pressing forward as we begin planning for next year.
And you're asking that we...
I just want to make sure I'm on record for getting this information to you. In the past, I've asked if we could have a Saturday work session or a Friday, Saturday work session so we can talk about what it is you'd like to see in the strategic plan, but so that I don't overburden you with a lot, because you have a lot, and we are in the middle of, you are in the middle of revising policy. I'm prepared to move forward. And then as you get the dates, you can come in, be and serve on committees as appointed, and we can continue to work. So it's information, but I'd love to have you involved. There'll be evening meetings. We'll try to keep the meetings to no more than 90 minutes. The first initial meeting may be 2 hours. We'll provide food if and when we can, and it's going to be all inclusive. We want all stakeholders. We want not just teachers. We want students. We want parents, business, and medical partners. Those that are retired, living in the community. We'd like to hear from everyone in Marlboro County that can help contribute to the work that needs to be done and the work that will be done for our students and our staff moving forward.
Any comments? Any questions? Okay. Board actions. Second reading of the academic calendar for the year 2021-22 school years.
So you have to make a motion that we accept the second calendar review of the academic calendar year 2021-2022.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the second meeting for the Marlboro County School District academic calendar for 2021-2022 school year. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Opposed? That's been accepted. Is it first reading of board policies C, D, E, and F? I know we went over those last month with someone from the state Board of Education coming in, going through. I think we talked about some of this. Since then, we made a couple of corrections since that first meeting, that planning that we did with the workshop. Any other questions or concerns before this first reading?
Chair, make a motion that we accept policy C, D, E, and F for the first reading.
I have a question on one of them. I can't remember which one it was I read it today. Looking for it.
We'll wait.
On DGA, the last page. DGA.
D as in dog.
D as in dog.
2 times.
Yes.
DD.
Delta Gamma Alpha.
They don't get that.
The statement, the first, the superintendent, then it says, superintendent, the chief financial, okay, I understand it, I got it now. That must be before my coffee. Okay.
So we're back to, we have,
We got that one, and then there was one, where we had George's name written in, as a contact person. I think would be best to put the position rather than an individual's name, because you'll be changing that often. Yeah, on page 2 of EBC-R. Echo Bravo Charlie Robert. Keep going. Second paragraph. I think the position should be there rather than the person's name.
Position.
Yeah.
We said the position.
That's it to me.
anyone else? It is been moved and seconded with corrections that we accept for the first reading policy C, D, E, F. Are you ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Opposed is the same. First reading has been accepted with changes. Is there any other necessary matter that needs to come before the board, or do we need to go into executive session? If not,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Smith.
make a motion to adjourn for the evening.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn for the evening. All in favor, let it be known. Opposed is the same. We are adjourned.